This is a follow-up of my original video of my analysis on the Swiss franc over the yen. So what I was looking at was when I first saw this, right? What I was looking at was for currencies that were overextended because of the euro and the Brexit and the pound. So I don't know if you could see, but I don't know if you were following the pound. You know, there's because of the Brexit news that was going to happen, um, the market decided to have some bullish momentum on the euro, on the pound. The euro saw, but the pound was really the one that saw the most. The pound over the USD. So then the Swiss franc caught some momentum off of it too, right? So I was looking at this and I really saw no reason as to why the franc would be up here, right? So I started looking for structures, for selling structures, right? And so I started looking at there was some type of channel going on here. There's many channels, right, that I see. Like, let's say this could be a channel. Well, let me get to the channel thing. Right, let's say that I wanted this to be a channel, right? I would just, so this is some type of valid channel, right? This is another channel, right? There's many channels. The one channel that I saw, because you always want to look for the hidden channel, right? The one that's not easy to identify. So then if you look over here, the market made this pullback over here. So then I saw this, right? It's kind of like hidden, this area right here. So then I saw that and I said, okay, there's my hidden pivot. Start connecting, and you always want to choose the channel that price touches the most, right? So we draw this channel here. Let me make it a little more accurate. I'm looking at this line right here where it touches. So then here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So this structure got hit or got really near 11 times, right? Price went up and down this channel at least 11 times, right? Counting this one, right? So I saw that and I said, okay, this looks like a very strong structure. So I am looking for some down movement, right? We started seeing this indecisive candle up here at the top of the channel. So then, I recognized that in the video and I talked about that in the video. So then I started drawing my targets, which, I wanted to, this was my first target at this 200 moving average. First target, second target when it got to the 50 and the 20, and then my third target would be all the way down here, right? I have been following the 200 moving average, the 50 EMA, and the 20 EMA for the past, I would say, 7 years. I haven't changed the structure of my charts, really, for that main reason, because I just wanted to follow these averages and then get really good at noticing how price behaves when it comes about these averages, right? So then when you have identified, so back to the to analyzing the Swiss franc, that was kind of like a side note, just to let you guys know my experience. So when I analyzed that this was a channel, I saw that price was getting up here. So then what you would like to do is first identify the bigger structure. Then next, you want to go within the smaller structure and look for an entry point, right? Which is what I did in the video. The video was posted on October 21st. So then that's really pretty much what I said on the video. I said that, okay, here's the hourly structure. We see this little upward channel, right? And then when we start seeing some bearish momentum, meaning that when this channel breaks its structure, then it would be a good point to enter, right? So then this is the structure that I was looking at, right? It was this channel, right? It was from this wick to that wick, and then it was this, right? It was this channel. Extend that a little more. All right, it was this wick to that wick, and then I said, okay, you know, price is playing with this channel. Price is playing with the 20, with the 50. See how I find support here on the 50, and then this is when I start seeing it die down, right? When I start seeing these indecisive candles, when the 4-hour chart is throwing big candles, big green and red candles. So then the price, it just looks exhausted, right? That's really what it is. And this comes with experience. You're not just gonna look at a chart and say, okay, this chart looks exhausted. No, you have to stare at these charts for many, I would say at least many months, if not years, until, you know, some people learn faster than others. It took me like 5 years to really get the hang of how price behaves, right? So then back to the structure. So then I drew the structure, and then I said, okay, if it breaks through this trend line right here, right, I go short. I cut losses if it breaks through this high that it made, right? So then if price, you know, it breaks through here, right? Let's say it broke through here, and let's say it was a fake out, then it would, and if it broke through there, then I would cut my losses, right? So that was my risk up there. And my reward, my first reward would be this 200 moving average when it went to retest it. That was when I first took profits. And then, you know, you move your stop loss as you move the structure, right? Because the hourly structure changes. You can't keep the same structure. You have to understand that price changes constantly, right? So it broke through this structure, so then this structure is no longer valid. You have to start drawing what this new structure will look like, right? So then you wait for price to settle down, right? Here it started settling down, right? But then again, if you have time with the charts, if you have a lot of experience with the charts, you would see that this is just the beginning of it, right? This 4-hourly candle is just one of many to come, right? It's so big, yeah, it's gonna settle a little bit, but you should expect a little more farther down, right? It had just broken through the 20, maybe it settles at the 50, which is exactly what it did, right? So it settled down here, it found support, the 4-hour found support on the 50 moving average, right? We see that. And then if we go back to the hourly, right, this is where it found support. The hourly chart was going towards the 200 moving, right? So then we say, and then not only that, but if we wait a little longer, because patience is key in these markets, right? We see that price, you know, here's a bullish candle, and then, you know, more time goes by, and then the hourly chart goes right up against the 200, the 20 EMA. See how it closes right here, right up above, right up on it. That's bullish. That's a bullish sign. And of course, the next candle is that. So then we have recognized a low, an actual valid low. This wasn't a low because, again, this was a false low because if we go back, see, this is where I drew that. This is the 4-hour chart. Because of this candle, right? Because of how what price action was telling us that, okay, I drew my very first big 4-hour candle. You know, there's more to come. This is not where it turns around. Now you have to wait. And of course, and then the next point would be then the 50 moving average. Right? So you have to be able to understand that. Right? So then on redrawing the new structure, right, we have a new low here, right? This was our original channel where we took in our entry. This was our original channel. We took in our entry. We took in our entry here. Once it broke through it, and then we have to start drawing the new channel, right? What most people make mistakes on these channels when drawing these channels is that they make it too steep, right? Maybe they're seeing this and they see this wick over here, so then they say, okay, let me draw from here to here, and this is the new channel, right? But this is just way too steep, right? And then maybe this is this wick, so then they say, okay, it's gonna go up, right? But this is just, it's too steep, you know what I mean? So then you have to wait for a new low to be confirmed, and you have to wait for the bullish price action to confirm that new low. So then this is the new low. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but I promise I'll get better at explaining these. Teaching is really not my strong suit. So then when you're drawing from this new low, you know, you understand that this is too steep, this is too steep, this is too steep. You want to look left to a nice organized structure. Now this structure here looks good because there's a lot of big candles, right? There's wicks. So then this is a good, and it's not too steep, right? It's pretty much perfect, right? So then you would draw it from to your previous high, right? So you have these two pivot points, and then you just extend it. Extend the channel, and boom, right? So then next time price gets to here, you sell. You wait for price, you have to wait, you're patient, you're waiting hours. Okay, it spikes, you have to sell here. At one point, this candle looks very big, very bullish, but you have to, when you have to wait till you can't predict that this candle is gonna end like very bullish. No, you see that this is a selling point, right? And then what happens? You sell up here, and then price starts going downward. So this is the actual structure that we have right now on the CHFJPY. Another thing I want to point out is that you never want to trade in here when it's right in the middle of the channel. No, you always want to wait for price to get to either one side of the channel or or the other, right? You want for price to either go here and then sell it, or if you're really a scalper, here and then buy it, and then, you know, basically so it goes up, and then if it cracks through it, then you cut your losses, right? And okay, again, so to summarize, what really is if you're going to take anything away from this video, is to get the bigger structure, right? Look for the hidden channel, right? You're looking at all this crap, just look for that hidden channel. You see this over here, see that, here's your hidden channel, right? It hit 11 times. 11 times they got near or hit it. So this is a good structure, right? So then you want to identify within the smaller structure where to get in, right? And then once price, you know, confirms your entry, then you have to change the structure and recognize a new structure. And subscribe and give it a like if you would like for me to put up more videos analyzing other currencies. I promise I'll get better at my teaching skills.